Hello, hello. Welcome to this episode of the Rogers Radio Podcast. I am your host, Alyssa Rogers, and I am excited to talk to you all today. Well, actually, excited may not be the word. I'm feeling very vulnerable. I don't know if this episode will ever reach the light of day, but I just told Kenny that I'm not sure if I'll post this or not, but I do think that it is a very big topic, and there's been a lot going on recently as a business owner. That's not always great, and I feel like I get on here every week and we talk about the great things, and there are so many great things. But if you are a business owner, if you're a person in general, if you're a human, you go through things, and it's not always sunshine and rainbows. And I think it's time to talk about it. And so let's go. I was recently, just a couple weeks ago, went to a conference, the 10X Growth Con. And I learned a lot there. We talk a lot in our company about Grant Cardone and the leader that he is, and what he stands for, and how he's motivated Joey and I to be very growth-minded. So we went to his conference a couple weeks ago, and we were surrounded by people of all walks of life, but very successful people, to the point where I'm looking around the room and I'm like, how did I get in this room? How am I even able to be in this room? And then I thought about it and I said, well, why do I feel like I'm not good enough to be in this room? Because I'm very growth-minded. Joey is very growth-minded. We are growing Rogers Heating and Cooling to be a $100 million company. So why am I sitting in here thinking I'm less than? We had the speakers that Grant Cardone brings, he one-ups it every year. So this year, the speakers were in the same room as speakers like Mark Wahlberg. Tom Brady was there, the GOAT, okay? In that room, the intensity was, you could just feel it everywhere, and how growth-minded he is and had to be throughout his entire career. Dana White, the head of the UFC, billionaire status. We had people like that were investors and very big on Wall Street. Megyn Kelly, what? Like, these people are huge and household names. And it was an honor to be in that room. Why was I looking around wondering why I was in there? Because I'm very capable of being in there. And it taught me to always, look at the people that I surround myself with. And so we went to lunch while we were there, and we were talking. And there was a question that was asked of me. And there are thousands of people there, but there was a question that was asked of me that has still stuck with me to, weeks later. And, this is a business conference, so you're surrounded by a ton of business owners and leaders, and you're talking about your wins and your struggles and where you're growing and what your plans are. So we were talking about some fails. Some things that we wish we had known, early on, or some things that have happened to us along this journey, and the people that we have lost along this journey because, maybe they weren't on the same page, or maybe they didn't agree with the growth that we wanted in our career. And, any book you read, any very successful person you talk to, and the theme of that whole week was, I got to where I am by surrounding myself with great people, and people that understood the vision, and people that wanted to see me grow and succeed. And if I ran into people that didn't want that, or didn't want the best for me, and didn't want to see me grow, and they wanted to see me fail, I had to get rid of them from my life. And so it opens up conversations of, gosh, there have been so many times that we get sucker punched on a regular basis here, whether it's people in the community that don't like what we're doing, whether it's people internally that don't like what we're doing. we battle ourselves, and can we do this? This is very uncomfortable. This is very hard. What are we doing here? And we've had people that have screwed us over the years. And, you know, I always look at everything happens for a reason. You heard my podcast, when Joey was interviewing me, or no, Justin, one of the podcasts, I said, everything happens for a reason, and that's what I live by. And that is so true. And I do truly feel like a lot of the things that have happened, a lot of the people that have come and gone along the way, they were here for a reason, and they taught me a lesson. But when we were talking about the crazy things that have happened, and the crazy things that people have done to us, or the crazy ways that people perceive us and they don't even know us, the question was asked, how do you still get on your podcast every week and talk about all of the great things and have a smiling face? And how do you go out into the community and still always have a positive mindset? And how do you come into work with a positive mindset when you feel like the whole world is against you? And in that moment, I didn't really know what to say, because it's like, oh gosh, I never thought about it that way, because I am just a positive person. And anyone that knows me knows that I'm pretty positive majority of the time. So, but that question kept, sticking with me throughout the whole week of, why do I continue doing what I do? And I truly do this podcast, whether everyone loves it or not. And for you loyal listeners, I love you. And thank you so much for listening, because I truly love doing this. And the answer, the simple answer would be because I love doing it. And that is true. But I do this because I feel like it is the only way that people can really get to know who I am. Because there are a lot of people that don't genuinely know who I am. And so how do I make this happen? I get on here every week. And what you hear from me, just like in last week's episode where I was talking to Bruce and I said, everyone that's come on here has never seen the questions beforehand. I am on here today, and I go on every week. And I do have a set of questions that I'm prepared to ask, because I want to do my research, and I want to give the guests the justice they deserve and the recognition they deserve, because they've come a long way and they've had to be strong through a lot of obstacles through their journey. And so I definitely have questions for them, but I'm just being myself. There's no front. There's no, hey, I need to act this way once the camera comes on. And, we started this with no video, and it was just me behind a microphone. And now we have the video, and that's just one more step into what I look like every day. And I'm not all dolled up. And, if you come into these doors at any moment, you're going to get the real Alyssa. And I do this because I want people to know the real me and see that I am good, and I do mean well, and I want to do well and do good for others. That is why I do what I do. That's why Joey does what he does, because it would be so easy for us to go out and say we're going to go into an industry and work for a corporation and go to work every day and have a great life. But we chose the path of entrepreneurship and business building and business growth. And it's not for our personal gain. It's for the gain of others. We want to help others. And we want others to know their full potential and to provide opportunities for them that they never knew existed. And with that, it takes a lot of getting out of your comfort zone and a lot of uncomfortable feelings. Joey has gotten me out of my comfort zone so many times. I've gotten him out of his comfort zone many, many times. We're very hard on each other. We make that very known. And that's just an agreement that we have, because if we're not hard on each other, no one else will be. But then there are days where I feel like the whole world is being hard on me, and the whole, everything we're trying to do, there's just a wall and people trying to, stop what we're doing and to hold us back. And I'm going to be very real. I came to work today and I told Joey, I said, oh my gosh, I feel like the entire world is against me. I feel like we have so much potential and I want to grow. Do you ever feel like you're no matter where you are in life, you have one of those days where you just feel like you're boxed in and you can't get out, and you feel like, I just want more. I just want more. I know I'm capable of more, but I'm being held back by everything. Well, we all have those days. And today is one of those for me. But what am I going to do? And it takes me back to the conference and being surrounded by all of those people. And they talk about, I have bad days, but I get up and I go to work and I do what I'm supposed to do, and I show up every day no matter what. And at the end of the day, when I get home, if I feel like the entire world was against me and no one had my best interest in mind, and I feel like I had a ton of fails, I can find at least one win in that day, and that is a successful day. And so I challenge everyone here to, when you feel like you're having a very bad day, be honest about it, be honest with yourself, and know that there are better days ahead, but there's a win in every single day. And when we wake up tomorrow, we're going to go and we're going to do our job, and we're going to do it to the best of our ability, so we can be there for others. And that truly is my goal in this whole journey, is to be there for others and to be the best version of myself, and understand that and realize that I do belong in these rooms, and so do you. Never look down on yourself and wonder why you're in a certain room or how you got there, or not give yourself opportunities that are at your feet. Like, when opportunities come for you, take them. Take them, even though it may get you out of your comfort zone. If there's an event that you're invited to, or a party, or a meeting, take it. You never know what may happen, and you deserve to be there, and you deserve to be a light in this world, because you are going to go far and you are going to grow. And these are things that I truly mean for you, and these are things I tell myself every day. And self-doubt is a real thing, and I am truly here to help everyone, and I want everyone to see their full potential. So I thought that it would be good for me to get on here and be very honest that it's not easy. Running a business is very hard. Living in this world today is very hard. We all go through struggles. I am going to go home today, and I'm going to think about all of the great things that have been accomplished, and I'm going to find my wins for the day. And I like to be very honest on this podcast, and I've said that since the very beginning. I want everyone to know what's going on. This is an inside view to those in the community that have accomplished great things, and it's an inside view of Rogers Heating and Cooling. And I just appreciate you listening, and always remember that you belong in the room, and I cannot wait to see the amazing, amazing things that all of you accomplish in this world, in this community, and in your everyday life. Thank you for listening to the Rogers Radio Podcast. I look forward to talking to you next week. And remember to always rate, review, and subscribe. I love the feedback, and I just, again, cannot thank you enough for listening. Talk to you next week.